Hey guys, we are now traveling Bayview Avenue in the city of Richmond Hill. Richmond Hill, with a population of 207,802 residents in 2025, is a city in south-central York Region, Ontario, Canada. Part of the Greater Toronto Area, it is the York Region's third most populous municipality and the 27th most populous municipality in Canada. Richmond Hill is situated between the cities of Markham and Vaughan, north of Thornhill and south of Aurora. Richmond Hill has seen significant population growth since the 1990s. It became a city in 2019 after being a town since 1957. The city is home to the David Dunlap Observatory Telescope, the largest telescope in Canada. The village of Richmond Hill was incorporated by a bylaw of the York County Council on June 18, 1872, coming into effect January 1, 1873. In September 1956, the Ontario Municipal Board approved its elevation to town status, effective January 1, 1957. The Regional Municipality of York was established by Bill 102, an act to establish the Regional Municipality of York of the Provincial Parliament, passed on June 26, 1970, and coming into force on January 1, 1971. The act expanded Richmond Hill's borders, annexing parts of Whitchurch Township, Markham Township, Vaughan Township, and King Township into Richmond Hill, expanding the area covered from 1,700 acres, 6.9 kilometers, to 27,000 acres, 110 kilometers, and the population from a little over 19,000 to some 34,000. Historically, the town was bounded along a narrow strip along Yonge Street from lots 48 to 46, about Crosby Avenue down to Major Mackenzie Drive, as far east as Church Street and slightly west of Mill Pond, excluding lot 46, where it ended just north of Arnold Crescent or eastern end of today's Donhead Park. The town grew to encompass the communities of Gormley, Dollar, Langstaff, Carville, Headford, Elgin Mills, Jefferson, Bond Lake, Temperanceville, Lake Wilcox, Oak Ridges, and Richvale. While Richmond Hill was a prosperous, well-developed town, many of the outlying areas annexed were far more rural, with dirt roads, no water mains or sewers, and no streetlights. And the time needed to bring municipal services up in these areas, combined with residual unequal tax assessments, caused considerable conflict in the municipal politics. Policing was taken over by the York Regional Police, but fire protection remained with Richmond Hill, whose firefighting force quickly grew. Having hired its first full-time employee in 1967, it had 14 full-time employees by 1971. The city of Richmond Hill is well serviced in terms of transportation facilities for a community of its size. The eastern border of the city is Highway 404, a major highway that leads directly into the core of the city of Toronto via the Don Valley Parkway, DVP. Highway 404 also intersects with Highway 401 in North York, which is one of the most traversed highways on the planet and is the principal east-west route in the Greater Toronto Area, GTA. The city's southern border is defined by the former Highway 7 and a parallel toll expressway, Highway 407. The latter is a toll route and was designed as a bypass for the 401. The combined effect of these highways ensures that Richmond Hill is well integrated into Ontario's road network and has easy access for all road vehicles. The ease of accessing the city is threatened by increasing traffic due to growth in the region, as the resulting commutes diminish the usefulness of the road network. Public transit within the city of Richmond Hill is on buses coordinated by York Region Transit, YRT. In September 2005, YRT unveiled a new rapid transit initiative entitled Viva, which provides enhanced bus service on major routes using vehicles capable of speeding up traffic lights to lessen the time they idle. Viva Blue, Viva Purple, Viva Orange, and Viva Pink have stops in Richmond Hill. In addition, YRT operates several feeder routes on secondary streets in the city. Commuter train service is provided to the city by Geo Transit on the Richmond Hill line with 4 stations in the city: Bloomington Station, Gormley Station, Richmond Hill Station, and Langstaff Station. Langstaff Station is near the new Richmond Hill Center terminal of York Region Transit at Highway 7 and Yonge Street, and is connected to it by a pedestrian bridge opened in March 2008. The Richmond Hill Center terminal is complete with enclosed heating areas, payphones, and credit card, debit card ticket purchasing machines. Owing to its proximity to Toronto, there are plans to extend Line 1 Yonge University of the TTC subway system to the intersection of Yonge and Highway 7. The project is in its preliminary planning, design, and engineering (PDE) phase, with funding from the federal and provincial governments. Richmond Hill is minimally serviced by other modes of transportation. Its landlocked situation inhibits any water transportation. There are no registered aerodromes in city limits, although Lake Wilcox does see occasional floatplane traffic. The closest international airport is Toronto's Pearson International Airport. Richmond Hill is bounded by Bloomington Road, Aurora Town Limit, to the north, York Regional Road 7, Vaughan City Limit west of Yonge St, Markham City Limit east of Yonge St, to the south, Bathurst St, Vaughan City Limit, to the west, and Ontario Highway 404, Markham City Limit, to the east. Its southern limit is about 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles, north of the Toronto city limit, Steeles Avenue, and approximately 20 kilometers, 12 miles, north of the downtown core of Toronto. The city extends 14 kilometers, 8.7 miles, north-south, and 7 kilometers, 4.3 miles, east-west. The predominant feature of the city's geography, as its name suggests, is its elevation above surrounding regions. Thousands of years ago, during the last ice age, glaciers moving in a southerly direction amassed a considerable amount of earth in front of them, which they carried forward as they grew. Gradually, as the temperature increased, the growth of the glaciers lessened, and eventually, they began to recede to what is now the polar ice cap. The earth that had been collected by the glacier's movement was left in place, and the elevated region that remained comprises modern-day Richmond Hill. The city itself is at a much greater elevation than other communities within the Greater Toronto Area, GTA, and with the exclusion of areas closely alongside its borders, the constituent of York region with the greatest height above sea level. The uneven melting of the glacier that formed the city has led to an extremely varied geography within the city's own borders, leading to such features as kettle lakes, minor tributaries, and most notably, the Oak Ridges moraine. Kettle lakes are the result of glacier water getting caught in watertight depressions in the land and are sustained by only rainfall in the immediate area. The city of Richmond Hill has many of these water bodies, and its 3 largest in order of decreasing size are Lake Wilcox, Bond Lake, and Phillips Lake. The kettle lakes are predominantly confined to the northern fringes of the city. Perhaps the most important geographical feature of the city of Richmond Hill is the Oak Ridges moraine. The moraine is a further elevated region of loose soil which comprises a significant portion, roughly the northern third, of the land area of the city. Its porous nature allows the collection and natural filtering of waters that flow through it, which are then fed into multiple underground aquifers. While the city receives its water from the City of Toronto, these aquifers are an important source for those with their own wells, in addition to surrounding communities. The ability of the soil to hold so much water means that despite Richmond Hill's comparatively high elevation, it has a very high water table, which poses some problems to construction. The moraine is also host to a staggering amount of biodiversity, and in recent years there has been a considerable amount of pressure applied to government to shield the area from development. Consequently, a considerable portion of Richmond Hill is subject to the Ontario government's Greenbelt legislation. Being elevated above the surrounding region, precipitation in the city tends to flow outwards via the multitude of streams and rivers that flow through the city. Principally, water flow is in one of 2 directions, south to Lake Ontario or north to Lake Simcoe, where they join up with larger tributaries that feed into the water bodies. Of note are the Rouge, Humber, and Don rivers, which receive some of their flow from sources in the city. Thanks for watching. If you can please share, like, and subscribe. Next video will be in the city of Markham.